Welcome. This is the Smartest Dumb People, and I'm the host, Anthony That Dude Johnson. And to my right, always, LV the Great. He in the building. Then we got Quando Rondo, my high school best friend. We in this together. Look, we got a lot to talk about. Busy week for me. Trying to get everything in order and work this job at the same time. But I must say, we're having an event. We're going to have a few events. We're going to do a cookie, a bake sale. We're going to do a car wash. We're going to do all of these things because we have to help this young man named Victor. Okay, Victor mom started a GoFundMe account. Victor dreamed as he's battling a sickness that he suffered during birth. He had a birth defect. Basically, the doctor pulled his head too hard. Victor is 7 years old. His dream is to go to Disney World, but the medical bills is adding up. Victor actually has surgery next week. So I just, work with his mom. His mom is a beautiful, loving person. I like her. She's great. She's a good mom. She's handling it with 4 kids by herself. And I told her that the Smartest Dumb People have a platform. It's our job to make sure we help the community any way we can. So everybody, make sure y'all go check out Victor GoFundMe. It's on the Smartest Dumb People. It's on Anthony That Dude's personal page. And just go donate, even if it's $5, even if it's $10. And like I said, we're going to have a giveaway. We're going to do something special for Victor and actually have him come up and speak with us for a little bit because he's super cute, super smart, young man just trying to figure out his way at 7 years old. He is developmentally delayed and he suffers some issues from the actual birth. So we're trying to look out for him. He wants to go to Disney World. His mama need help with the medical bills. Make sure you go check out his GoFundMe account.
Just come on. You got it out there, man.
So let's get it started, man. Like I said, we got a lot to talk about. Everybody here, make sure you like and share, man. The Smartest Dumb People, we are a community within itself, man. And anybody we can help, we're going to try to help. So we got a lot of topics. We're going to start with the first topic of the day. First topic of the day is your kid an example of you? I actually made this post sometime this week, and it got a lot of a lot of comments and a lot of people saying things. And I want to ask you personally, is your kids an example of you? I can speak for myself. LV can speak for herself. Quando gonna speak for herself. My personal opinion, my kids are a perfect example of me. I just happen to be blessed with 2 kids that are very respectful and very intelligent and loving, caring kids, but I felt like I instilled that in them. I instilled, like when my son would yell at his sister, I was that parent that was telling my son like the ins and outs of him doing that to his sister and the effects it has. But you got to keep in mind, I am an advocate for mental health, so I look at people's mental different than the average parent would or the average mother or father would. I always think about my kids' mental well-being. So like I said, when I would break down stuff to my son, he might yell at my sister and tell her she ugly. He might yell at his sister and tell her she ugly. And I would say to him, son, that might have an impact on her for the rest of her life. You know what I'm saying? Right. And my sister, my beautiful sister, shout out to Janice, my beautiful sister always tells me the story of my cousin calling her a name when she was 7 years old or something like that.
Stuck with her.
Yeah, and it's stuck with her. And I'm like, so you got to be careful with kids on how you approach them and how you teach them and how you help them grow. What's your opinion on, LV, of your kids being an example of you? Freestyle Friday, make sure you like and share.
Like and share.
Well, shit, to be honest, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that my kids I don't believe anybody kids is the example of them. I have seen a wide variety of different type of parents, you know what I'm saying, that have different type of kids. I've seen multiple kids in the same household who behave differently. Who don't even behave the same, that you wouldn't even think that they grew up in the same house. You know what I'm saying? And then you have children that takes pride in being different, who takes pride in being rebellious, right? They say, I'm the black sheep of the families. I'm the black sheep.
Yeah, but that might have been put in their head, so then they really feel that. Then they really put that in their mind.
I agree with you. So, in my opinion, as in the kids growing up, why I say that kids are an example of you is because you can change the direction that these paths that these kids choose. Like I said, something as simple as in calling my daughter ugly or fat or anything like that could affect her mentally as she's growing. These are kids. They have very fragile egos. They are young.
Why you always think somebody's weak though?
See, that's the problem, is that you're trying to say that a child should be strong.
No, I'm not.
There ain't no handbook
I'm not
to
saying.
this shit. Ain't no handbook to this shit.
Yeah,
So
I'm not saying that a
you
child. Go ahead.
I'm just saying you take from what you was brought up with. The person take from ahead of you, take from what they got, and you got to break down and make your own kids how you raising them. So as like for me, I definitely would say respectful. I preach that and don't disrespect and be kind to your brothers. Yeah, your brother. That's who you ain't supposed to fight with your brother. You supposed to fuck with. Hey, that's supposed to be your ride.
You're teaching them. And,
yeah.
And when I first met your son, even though I've known this man for fucking 20 years, I met his son at the casino recently, and how he spoke to me, it was like he knew me forever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's because the respect and love was there, because he knew I was your friend. You know what I'm saying? But he never got a chance to meet me because he was never around when I was around.
Right.
But and that shows what you said. It's teaching about loving your brother, and like I said, these are qualities that you have to instill in your kids, because they don't understand. If you allow your kids to verbally and fight each other,
They're gonna do that regardless. Have you ever fought any of your sisters?
Yeah.
Brothers?
Yeah.
All the time. But
So then that.
what does that got to do with coming out when you meet a stranger though? That don't have nothing to do with coming off and branching off when you meet somebody new.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just sibling rivalry.
Yeah, okay, and so the sibling rivalry is there. And so I always believe that the most rudest, crudest people you will run into is people in your family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They will say the most absurd things to you that they wouldn't dare say to someone else. So I don't necessarily, I try to instill that, you know what I'm saying? The same way that you would treat someone else is how you should behave in this house. This home is a social environment, regardless of whether, for example, I'm going to give an example. My daughter, we asked her about drug use, whoop-de-whoop. You know what I'm saying? She acted like she got offended. You know what I'm saying? And so when I talked to her, I said, well, you acting offended, but you would go somewhere and get a job, and some people will ask you the same question if you on drugs. And then not only will they not ask you if you're doing drugs, they will then in return make you prove it that you're not doing drugs. But you won't get that. You won't get upset. You won't feel offended. You won't do anything. But then you will come, and when we asked you, you get offended. And her response was, "That's the real world." And I told her, "This is the real world.
Yeah.
This home
starts in the
is
home.
the real world.
Yeah.
This is a social environment. Regardless of if you might not understand that everything that you learn socially in this home that you carry outside of the home.
You're trying to teach her so that you're definitely saying everything right to her, so she just didn't take it in. So I see what you're saying.
Right. Because
I feel like, and I said this on a post too on my Facebook. Once you learn how the human brain works, how the mentality works of a human being, you can then grow. That's when the healing processes start. I think that.
What healing from what though? Why some?
I know you hurt from some shit.
I'm not hurt from nothing.
We had this argument.
It's not even an argument.
It's just that
bro. Because I mean, even
regardless of her
if you generalizing. Why do someone have to be hurt?
It's not necessarily hurt. It could be hurt. Don't always have to be mental illness. Is not always about being hurt. Okay.
What they have to heal from.
And the mind has to heal. And what I mean by that is, let me think of an example. You might be a bully because you used to be bullied. That don't mean you hurt. That just means I'm gonna beat every nigga up that I see because a nigga tried me once. That's still a different type of mentality.
But now y'all off onto a whole nother. We talking about.
All right,
we talking about on the topic is, are your kids a reflection of you?
Yeah, I think so.
What the fuck is y'all talking about coming around with bully? You talking about bully? You talking about somebody being bullied? You talking about somebody being bullied?
Well, it varied off because he was saying that you were saying that when people see your son that he's respectful and this and this and that.
Even my kids that I ain't even touched base with, when you see them, they still gonna be respectful. It's regardless of. It's that
so
I didn't put in them.
Do you think it's something that's inherited?
No.
Do you think that traits?
No.
So none of a person, not yours. No person's inherited traits from the parent, as far as being bashful, as far as being aggressive.
My mom is aggressive. My mom has a short fuse. That's what I got from my mom. But I trained myself to like stop being this way. I almost got into an argument. I got in a heated argument at my job. I thought I was gonna lose my job the other day, arguing with a dude over something that I knew was right. And I had to take deep breaths before I, snap, because he was treating me as if. It's a long story. I don't want to talk about it.
Think it was right, or I was right. His opinion based. You think you might be right every time.
That you may be wrong.
We don't know. We don't know the situation.
Yeah. So all right. So I don't want to stay on that too much. We got multiple topics tonight. I think we can switch topics, but I want to speak on the kids. We're going to stay on kids for a second here. I want to speak on the kids going back to school catching COVID. The kids is going back to school. South High has already canceled school for a couple days. Benson High has already had 4 cases of COVID. These kids are also bringing it back to their parents that might not be that well off physically. Mm-hmm. So in the situation of schooling, is it time for us to shut the schools back down, LB? Is it time to go back to remote learning? Is it time to... Because I'm going to be honest with you. I felt like the risk was worth the reward for our children. The risk was worth the reward for our children because our children were so antisocial. They were becoming so they haven't talked to each other. They haven't got to see their friends in a year and a half, so to speak. My daughter especially. My daughter had one friend that she got to see, but it was like pulling teeth trying to get her mom to let her come over because her mom was so worried about COVID. And when she did, we definitely took precautions and was being careful. But I'm saying, I felt like the kids needed to be back in school, and that shit was affecting the kids. What's your opinion, LB? Do you think that they should shut the schools back down because kids are spreading COVID to other kids that they're bringing home to their families?
Yeah. We missed a good comment there. But,
what comment?
JR. Sanchez, he was like, unborn children still learn from what they feel and hear in the womb of the mom. If the mom is in a violent atmosphere, they may be timid. And so, before we move on, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because they say that, they know who the mom is from her voice. That's why they attach to the mom. And so, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Somewhat. You know what I'm saying? I just, it was just a good point out.
How do you agree with?
I think Rodrigo was cool too. I think our kids will be an extension of their influence.
All right, so LV, I really want to talk about the COVID, y'all. Don't leave the party. Like and share. I really want to talk about the COVID situation with the school. But I got to get this out of it. How can you agree with a kid learning something in the womb, but a kid can't learn something from you out here?
Because the thing is that he's not actually learning anything. What he's doing is hearing. He's not seeing nothing. He can't see nothing but darkness. And so he's not seeing behavior. He's not seeing somebody being aggressive. He's not seeing somebody being rude. So he's hearing his environment. So he is understanding what his mom is going through, but he's not actually seeing or learning anything. And even when they come out, You know what I'm saying? You have children that was born that moms who was addicted to drugs. They don't do drugs.
I feel like
they don't do drugs, and so just because a person was smoking crack, that don't mean that the baby come out smoking crack. That don't mean that the baby come out doing opioids because the mom was popping pills during the pregnancy or smoking meth. That don't mean that the baby smokes meth. Does it?
I feel like we cleared the bases on because I'm ready to move on with the
Fucked you up. I fucked you up.
No. Make sure you like and share. Let's see.
Then we can go to the school thing. Go ahead.
Let's go all right, so back to the school thing.
I had to fuck him up right quick.
We bounced topics real quick. We were talking about kids going back to remote learning. Is it possible because of COVID? Personally, like I said, I felt like the risk was worth the reward because I felt like my daughter was healthy enough to handle it. But I also felt like she needed to be back in a social environment with her friends and her peers to actually grow as a human being. Is this when a child is 11 years old, from probably the age of 7 to 14, to me, that's what's really going to determine who you are. My daughter has already went and ran for student council. My daughter want to be fucking. They pronounced her joke today on the intercom, and she was walking and she played the video for me. But I'm saying, like, that's what she needed. She needed to be back in a social environment.
Yeah.
Now, granted, do I believe she's going to eventually catch it? God forbid she does, but I think everybody's going to eventually catch it. That's my fear, is that holding her back for another year or 2 years is not going to affect the fact that she can go catch it just going to a grocery store. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just throw her out there in the fire and hope to God that God takes care of everything.
What about family? Family, why was y'all not around family and just you saying not around friends and all of that? Family that prevents from just being antisocial. You know what I'm saying? That breaks that. So we was around our situation was a lot around a lot of family
but that still was endangering your family. Like I haven't seen my grandma in almost 3 years because my dad didn't want. We
ain't worried about us. We talking about the kids.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, my grandma is 87 years old. We didn't want to go around even take a chance.
Yeah, okay,
I haven't seen my grandma almost 2.5 years.
I'm talking about your daughter being around.
You said why is she around her family?
Yeah, I mean kids, her other kids around her age. That's what I'm saying.
Well, first off, you got to have kids around your age to be around other kids your age. Her family, she doesn't really have too many 11-year-olds in her family for us to, or little girls.
Yeah.
I think I got a 14-year-old niece and a 15-year-old nephew that's close to her age that she used to spend night with. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I felt like it was the right thing to do. I knew I was endangering my baby. This is the point I'm trying to make. I knew I was endangering my child when she was going back to school. She had no choice anyway. But at the same time, I understood the consequences that's coming behind this, and God forbid.
These phones, they can reach out and touch them at any point in time. They get group calls, all that shit. Man.
Yeah, my daughter did those things, but that's still not being social. You need to be able to look at motherfucking eyes and do shit like this, and just have that connection, that intimate connection with somebody that you don't get through a phone. So that's why I felt like she needed. And like I said, my daughter's blossoming in school, and like I said, God forbid something happened to my baby as far as with the COVID, but she is back in school and she's loving it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the kids needed. What's your opinion, LV? Do you think they brought the kids back to school too early?
I'm kind of torn. I mean, because from one perspective, I do see that where the remote learning was hurting the kids. I already knew mine couldn't sit in front of no computer for no 8 hours. I wasn't even gonna try to make them. You know what I'm saying? I already knew it would have been.
My daughter went from being an A student, I'm serious, always on honor roll, till she failed everything. She failed. I would walk in the room and she would be asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like in class.
Shit, that anybody.
So the remote learning, and then people saying, "Well, you should have stayed on your kids." It's so hard. It's so hard to crack the whip.
No, you got to.
No, I was the one. I would get in arguments with my kid's mom and be like, "Yo, I literally worked from home and that shit was hard as an adult. I couldn't imagine how it felt to be an 11-year-old that stayed up till 4 in the morning, got to get up at 7.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I gave her a pass for that. I'm a grown man and I was having trouble working from home. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I work from home, but it was still a struggle.
Well, I could never really, but me myself, I could never really learn like that. Even when I would do online classes in college, you know what I'm saying? I would struggle with them classes more than I would if I was doing in class. It's just a certain way that I learn, you know what I'm saying? Jessica
said my youngest had to go back. My oldest ace remote, and Brandy said it's a difference if they were doing everything to make the kids safe, but they are not. My child was a student throughout a whole
a student.
Yeah. She said, oh yeah.
That's what
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's
but you gotta make it happen. But listen, you gotta also understand.
I know I couldn't have did it.
Yeah, I'm about to say you
gotta make it happen.
No,
if they gotta get up, they gotta get up.
You gotta also understand.
I can agree with that.
Kids have all kids have different learning mechanisms on how to learn.
Guess what? You're gonna get your ass up just like it's time to go to school. At 8 o'clock, get your ass up.
Listen, but like Brandy's child.
But when you go off to work, who's gonna ensure that they logged in?
He's living a fairy tale.
No, I'm not living no fairy tale. I did the shit. I did. Ain't no goddamn fairy tale. Hell yeah, they did everything that they were supposed to do. You goddamn right.
When you go off to work,
no, that ain't no
how can you ensure that they logged in?
Fucking right.
From remote learning. I need to see report cards. I'm gonna call you bluff on that.
Man,
I'm gonna call you bluff on that because that's so to my honorable.
Well, guess what? You was a bad parent.
Like
you was a bad parent.
Shout out to Brandy.
That's all I can say. My right-handed guy, I got my kids up every morning. They sat at the table and got on their goddamn laptops that they sent. They was charged up every day. They ain't no excuse. Make sure that motherfucker charged that night, and you get your ass up.
Like I said, Brandy's child might have been a video gamer or something like that, to where
they used to sit. But motherfuckers sit in front of that Nintendo now. I ain't gonna now. I know mine can't sit in front of that laptop and listen to a motherfucker womp. But motherfuckers get in front of that Nintendo and be locked in. Yeah. They get in front of that Nintendo and locked in.
For the parents in here, we got some adult conversations. Please don't leave the chat. We got some adult conversations. We got to talk about DJ Khaled, what he said about his wife. We got Gorilla Glue Girl spending her money on other things. These are just topics we wanted to discuss with parents so we can get opinions and give it out to the parents. So like I said, again, my personal opinion about the remote learning was not an ideal situation for my child.
I'm a no-nonsense parent. I pretty much try to stay on top of it, man. Shit, I don't like to play. I like them to be on time for school.
Shout out to
how I am.
Rodrigo said remote learning fucked everybody kids up a little, but the school board pressed to get the kids back for that bread.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I can see that.
I can agree with that.
And JR said Quando is a no sense. Yeah, I agree. When he was talking, that's how he talked. He just that.
He said a no nonsense. Yeah. Shit, ain't nothing wrong with it.
I mean, Laron's still teaching. His teaching mechanism is through aggression. And I learned, I'm being honest.
Why you say that?
He just said, get your ass up.
You gotta get up. It's time to get up.
But my teaching mechanism is, the way I teach is.
You go ahead and go to sleep and get up when you want.
Yes.
Fuck up out of here. Fuck up out of here.
Yeah. Well, shit, you know mine.
You already missed all your class.
Let's show the clip of the doctor talking about people that got the vaccine. It's very important. We're about to show y'all the clip of the doctor that was telling.
And he says, don't ever do it.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
You found that joint?
No, I'm about to show it right now. I'm about to show the clip of the doctor explaining to the school boards or whatever it was that they should not allow people
to get she'll go to work with me and not.
And he says, don't ever do it. So let me explain what's going to happen to the people who have taken it. Excuse me. The people who have taken it are going to die in the next 6 months to 3 to 5 years for 3 reasons. Number one, you have dramatically decreased your own immune system by 35%. The first jab did it by at least 15. The second did it by 35 now. If you take any booster shot, you will die. That's it. You take a flu shot in the future, you will die. The second reason, antibody-dependent enhancement. Antibody-dependent enhancement is what is happening with these jabs with everybody who has taken them. Unless, of course, you've taken a placebo, but there's no way that you would know that. So given that fact, antibody-dependent enhancement tricks the entire body into believing that the cell that's eating the pathogen is eating it when it isn't. It ends up leading to what's called a cytokine storm, which causes organ failure. That will cause your death, and there's no stopping that. No amount of drugs will stop that. The third thing, blood clotting. Everyone who has taken the jabs is blood clotting. If you don't believe me, there's a way you can find out. Take what's called a D-dimer test. What that does is that detects blood clotting at the microscopic level. They're cutting full blood clots out of people right now. As I'm talking to you, millions have died from the jabs. In your last meeting, you advocated for people to take the jabs potentially in the future, along with wearing masks. And I heard parents say the same thing. So to the parents who are actually considering jabbing their own children.
All right, so that was a gentleman. He's actually a professor, and I think it's science, as you would think.
I think a biochemist.
Yeah. And he was breaking down how anybody to take the shot. Look, dying, I don't know. But I understood that he was saying we shouldn't take the shot. And everybody try to use the analogies that black people from the Tuskegee experiment and all of these things are scared of what the government is putting in our bodies. Me, bro, I'm not that woke. That's not the case at all. It's just a little fishy to me and how fast and how we have never been able to get people vaccines out this fast, and they're doing it at an astronomical rate, and they're willing to give it to black people first. That's the first for me, and that shit alone scares me. So,
why you think they will? Why you say they willing to give it to blacks first?
Because they was pressing it to the hoods before they was pressing it to anybody. They was like, we need to get it to the neighborhoods, we need to get it to the communities, but all the community they was trying to give it to was black communities. They started with black community. They even did a fucking, remember we had the commercial we showed when we was talking about the vaccine situation, to where the dude was like, I be trapping, I gotta move around, I be making moves, I'm an entrepreneur, I took the shot. So that's all a gimmick. And like I said, I don't want to be that guy. Because listen, I seen young men die from not taking a shot. I seen a lot of young men die from not taking a shot, and they were like advocates on not taking a shot and pass. So I don't want to be that guy. I had COVID, I almost died from COVID. I'm not saying COVID ain't real. I just thought that my immune system was healthy enough to handle COVID, and the average human being is gonna be fine. It's gonna be tough. There ain't gonna be no cakewalk. But the average human being is going to be fine. You see what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no reason to go take a medicine that we don't know what's going to happen behind the medicine. Oh, go ahead.
Right. And so, I'm going to read two things off. JR says, so if 50% of the population had taken a shot, then along with that and natural causes, the majority of the population of the world would no longer be here in 5 years. I call bullshit. Well, I can agree with that, but that also ties into what little sis is saying. She's saying, why are people acting like vaccinations are new? We all been taking vaccinations since we were babies, so why so much fear about this particular vaccination?
I thought you was anti-vax, sis. Now you're advocate for that?
Well, I'm gonna address both of those. So, first of all, it normally takes 5 years, not 6 months, to create a vaccination. Second of all, they test these vaccinations out on animals before they give it to human beings.
Break it down.
They skip that process. They skip that whole process. And so they are skipping the normal process of what it will take to see if a vaccination is safe. Now, I do know that there are some diseases that have been cured, like chicken pox. You know what I'm saying? Smallpox, measles, mumps, and so I'm not.
Kids don't even get chicken pox nowadays.
I'm not ignorant. I'm not anti-vax, but I am anti taking something and you don't know what you're taking just because someone is saying something.
And then y'all got to keep this in mind as LV, not to cut you off, LV, but even while you saying that, there's motherfuckers that got the vaccine that's catching.
That still catch the COVID. You know what I'm saying? And then they go, oh, they just won't die, or they just want. That's bullshit.
You don't take the smallpox vaccination and get smallpox?
Shit. Sometimes you do. I mean, you have to get some form of it. You have to get have to get some form of the disease able for your body to build up an immunity against it.
I just gotta say what Janice said. She said, "I've never been anti-vaccine. I said I was going to see what happens to the first round of people." That's exactly what LV just said. They're testing it out on human beings. Why the fuck would we take it? She just killed her own point. Like, that's the point, sis. He's telling you why, and I'm telling you, why would you say, I want to see if those people gonna die first? And then, oh, they ain't died yet? They ain't died yet? It's only been a year. Not even a year. It's only been 5 months. I'm gonna go take it.
God damn. And so,
this is the blind leading the blind right
Miss
here,
Carpenter
man.
said it's a gamble either way. I didn't want the vaccination, then I got sick with COVID, and that was a horrible experience. And I have the same fear. But again, I never got the flu shot.
And I want to say this before anybody have the CIA come up here. Time out.
And nobody. What happened to the flu, by the way? Did nobody gets the flu no more?
Before anybody have,
or you get COVID.
Listen,
you get COVID.
I want to say this before anybody have the CIA come looking for the smartest dumb people to implant us with the shit. Me and LV then had genuine conversations about debating on taking the shot. So we're not anti-vaccine people. We're just as well, I'm going to speak for myself. He can speak for himself. I'm just as nervous of not taking a shot as I am of catching it, even though I caught it. You know what I'm saying? So, because I know it's real. The COVID is real. So let's clear the air with that first. COVID-19 is a real fucking sickness. I had it. I thought I was going to die. My son had to take me to the emergency room, all types of shit. COVID is real. But I'm saying these vaccines are very scary to take. And then you had vaccinations that was giving people blood clots. Do you understand? If you don't know you got a blood clot, you're going to die. Do you understand?
All them shit giving motherfucker blood clots. Man, people are dying from this. Now, that's the other part that they're not telling. And so, is it rare that 50,000 out of 352 million shots given out that they have adverse effects? Yeah, but I don't want to be one of that 50.
And then the Johnson & Johnson, that was a whole nother brand.
Listen, old boy just said it. Rodrigo said one of the companies made baby powder. You must have forgot. Baby powder was giving motherfuckers cancer.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
Right, and so they rushed their shit out so fast. When a 1 day, you didn't even need 2 doses for them. They got a 1 dose.
They had a 1 dose. That's the one if any one that I would do the Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, but that one was fucked up. But it was only fucked up for females.
No, Moderna was the best one.
Well, Moderna and Pfizer, they have they use some new shit, which is a mRNA antidote in their medicine. The Johnson & Johnson uses a
shout out to Melissa.
What the fuck? Anyhow, they use a they use their vaccination give you something that's already been used before. They used it when the M1H1 outbreak came, the flu shit, when the Ebola shit came. You know what I'm saying? They use that one particular vaccination.
Shout out to JR for the pun intended. He said, "Stop your blood clot crying."
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, shout out to you for the pun.
I seen that.
Let's not, man. I'm ready to talk about some shit. I'm done with the conspiracy shit.
Yeah, but rock and roll.
Yeah, so let's.
No, this is real. That shit ain't conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Hey, he talking about conspiracy.
No. I'm talking about the shot conspiracy, not the actual sickness. But before we go further, I want to make sure y'all keep in touch with the situation with Victor's dream. He wanted to go to Disney World, and he also had medical bills and medical expenses that need help with. Please make sure you try to donate anything you can. I don't care if it's $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever you can spare. This young man suffered something during his birth. The doctors kind of did some shit to where it fucked him up during birth, but he's a great kid. I met him. He's the funniest, happiest kid you will meet.
No, we'll have him on here for.
We're gonna have him on here. So we need to make sure that we are talking about this GoFundMe. It's not gonna stop. We're gonna do a cookie drive. We're gonna do a car wash.
I'm gonna make all the cookies.
Yeah,
He gonna wash all the cars.
Just like all.
He gonna be like Cordell Stewart or the smartest dumb people. They gonna have that motherfucker in the Wild Pack offense.
Just like all.
They gonna have him in the Wildcat. He gonna be doing the Wildcat.
I'm in with him.
I ain't watching no cars, man.
Let's get to some real topics. Let's get to some raw topics. This show has been too clean. This is PG-13. It's time to take it to another level. So DJ Khaled came out and said it's a different rules for men. DJ Khaled refuses to go down on his wife, but demands it from her because he's a king. All right, I couldn't wait to have this conversation. I couldn't wait to have this topic because so many men are so selfish when it comes to sex, and I think it's human nature for men, like, cause. Look, so I had these arguments all the time with women. When a woman says, like, it's hard for a man to get sexy to me. Like, I don't even know what, like,
they say they want a man to get sexy?
Yeah, like, get sexy. And I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like I just dress and put on some cologne. Women have features and shit like that. Well, I guess a man could be to a woman if she like a muscular dude and he wearing a tank top.
Yeah, a fat nigga with a beard. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you know what I'm saying? You know it.
Hey, but so anyway, let's speak on what DJ Khaled said. I think marriage is when a man should go down on a woman. I feel like it's only right to go down on a woman. Look, listen, let's keep it a buck. Eating pussy ain't a bad thing. So anybody that thinks it is a fucking weirdo. Because to me, eating pussy is supposed to be fun. And yes, I'm being vulgar, but I'm saying, like, this is a real thing. Like, there's men that don't want to do it. And I'm like, to me, it's sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grown, we adults. Motherfuckers is we seen a show of a motherfucker talking about eating shit. You know what I'm saying? If you telling me you won't kiss a motherfucker's vagina?
Well, it could be a few things, because some people don't believe in sodomy, and oral sex is sodomy. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's a couple of avenues where that same way when they said that Tupac committed sodomy on the young lady, they wasn't talking about anal sex. They was talking about that he gave her cuntling.
What's cuntling?
Where you eat a woman's vagina.
So they accused Tupac of eating a woman's vagina and he went to jail.
And he got sodomy. Mike Tyson, when he went to jail for sodomy, it wasn't for anal rape. It's because the woman said that he forced cuntling on her. That he forced
you gotta break down with cuntling. I've never heard
is when you eat a woman's vagina. That's just like when a man gets head, they call it fellatio. Pause.
You call it fellatio.
The world, you can look at it. Hold on, time out. The actual definition is fellatio. And so, when a man eats a woman, it's cuntling. Mike Tyson was accused of forcibly eating a woman's vagina, which is why he went to prison for sodomy. Not because he raped her anally. You know what I'm saying? And so, a lot of men in different religions, I don't know if Khaled is a Muslim or...
You know what's funny is your boy Rodrigo just said, they said, yo, dude is an Arab, though, and his bread is longer, so of course he says goofy shit like that, and his woman is rocking with it. I agree with him. And you saying the same thing. You like he probably has a different culture. He probably,
where they don't
eat bread.
So Muslims and Hebrew Israelites, they don't believe in going down on women because it's considered sodomy. You know what I'm saying? It's not considered.
Well, they missing out.
Well, it depends.
Well, they missing out.
Because if you go down and hold on, they got, because you got some women with yeast infections, you got some women with STDs, you got some women that'll let you go down on them and they still on their rag, or they just came off their rag. There's so many different angles to this that is disgusting. That is disgusting.
You gotta create a bond. But you gotta create a bond.
That is disgusting.
You gotta create a bond of love with a woman. Like me personally, you gotta create a bond of love with a woman that's so unconditional that you want to please her to the point where you go down on her. Now, I can be honest. I don't just eat anybody's like I have never. Right? You have to really mean something to me for that to even be a conversation or something. And I'm not saying a motherfucker that I haven't done it to or have done it to or whatever the case may be didn't mean that to me. It's just that's a different type of love. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like when I'm willing to put my face in somewhere you piss out of and somewhere you sit on all day, and like we all know that's a wound. I mean that's a whole
deep, dark, damp.
Nuclear power plant.
That motherfucker cesspool. Y'all talking about COVID-19? That motherfucker hold all kind of viruses, bacteria, everything. The immune system stay working to try to keep that thing clean. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is I'm happy I'm not a woman. I'm happy I'm not a woman for the hygienic routine you have to create.
Different strokes for different folks.
I know. I had a homeboy that said he and I'll never disclose his name, but he said that he don't like his woman to shower because he like to smell her. And I was just like,
different strokes for
I want water clean. I want a motherfucker when I
smell like water.
Yeah, when I go down, like it's no scent there. I mean, don't get me wrong, all pussy has a scent. Let's change the word before we get blocked. All cooters have a scent.
Yeah, you about to get blocked.
Well,
But I had a couple shots, but I'm saying,
you getting off of vote.
I'm not trying to.
Hey, so hold on. I got a question for the ladies in here. Strictly for the ladies. So, if a man wants to receive oral and not give it, y'all saying that he's selfish, right? That's the sentiments that I'm seeing in here.
You know my thing used to tell like the young chicks when I was real young, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, well, when you do it to me, it's like sucking the thumb. When I do it to you, it's like entering a hole that I don't know what the fuck is in there. So that was always.
It's like entering the intergalactic with aliens and human bodies.
Hey, we know LV is a fucking chauvinistic.
Hold on,
sexist.
it's just the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Our fans know you by now, dog. They know you is nuts.
It's not. I'm just being real. Hold on. What we say? It's like entering into a dark galactia with
I agree with
different
Rodrigo.
stars.
He said, but one won't do, another one will. And I'm not. Listen, there's men out there that eat coochie for fun.
What Rodrigo say?
He said, "What one man won't do, another man will."
Okay, so now, and so, Rico, I said ladies, but that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? We can work with that. But and so, does that carry over to the sexual experience between couples in the bed as an overall? You know what I'm saying? And so, what she say? Y'all don't be as clean as y'all think. It's nothing like sucking a thumb. Okay.
Who said that?
Sussy.
Sussy, just get your ass out the chat.
No, hell no.
Get
She
your
right.
ass out the
She
chat.
right. A motherfucker.
Son, get out the chat.
Oh yeah.
Get out the chat.
A motherfucker. Come on, man. Everybody had a bird bath. You know what I'm saying? Everybody then. You know what I'm saying?
Thought you was cleaner than you
yeah. You know what I'm saying? All this salty all of this is salty to you until you get that. All of this is like
Freestyle Friday. The price is going
all
up
of
on
this,
smart stuff.
yeah.
Y'all better get on this bandwagon
all
now.
of this is like iodine. You know what I'm saying? Sodium. All this salty until you get to where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? It be times where you be like, just only hit the main area. You know what I'm saying? Hit the main area. So that happens.
She said maybe his skills suck. I don't feel like, listen.
What'd she say?
I feel like, me personally.
Who
I feel
said
like,
that?
Your homegirl, Miss Carpenter. I feel like personally, it's easier to do it to
In
a
the
woman.
sink. Go ahead.
I feel like it's easier to do it to a woman than a woman. I feel like the woman's job is harder. I just don't know why. Like, because oral sex to a woman is just like kissing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just kissing. Oral sex, I'm not getting into detail. But
Yeah, easy.
I've had, it's different. It's harder.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because the main thing is that, you know what I'm saying? What about, because women is saying that's selfish, right? That a man don't want to go down on a woman, but he expect for a woman to go down on him. But what about the other sexual things that men want?
Shout out to Carl Brewer in the party.
That comes with.
Yeah, I met him through you. He cool as fuck.
CB. Really.
That the man may want. You know what I'm saying? That same way, I ain't gonna bring up no names, but it was a weird type situation where it was a couple. In this couple in Omaha base, and they was going through it, and the man was like that he was doing shit with the woman that he wouldn't do with his wife. You know what I'm saying? And there were certain things that he wanted to do that his wife was not, I don't know if she wasn't willing to do or he just didn't want to do it, but he found another woman to do those things. You know what I'm saying? He liked it to piss on women.
Wow. That'd be.
He liked to piss on women. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly shit on women.
Oh,
that's disgusting.
Man.
Said, no, you're not kissing. She fucked this fuck for that.
A whole.
Shout out to Brandy, our top fan. Top fan. Day one.
Unika, she up there too. She up there. She done took over. She said he should be more comfortable. But sometimes a woman's not comfortable with having anal sex. And downright refuse to have it. So if she's dealing with a man that wants that particular part of sex, is she being selfish?
I just feel like when you're with somebody. So, for example, goals in life. When you're with somebody, and we had this conversation with Milk the Game on, you have to be open-minded as you expect them to be open-minded to you. So, for example, if my woman wanted me to eat her ass, right? I'm just giving an example.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll do it. If I said, suck my toes, she'll do it. If I say, lick inside my nose. Weird. I'm saying weird shit now. And she do it. Why would I judge her for what she want done to her? The body is a wonderland. Use it all. Don't shit on people or no weird shit like that. But the body, as far as in from everything is available from a human being. From the foot to the head.
From the rooter to the tutor?
Now, Brandon, my biggest fear is I will never ever allow my salad toss. I just won't.
What if your woman gets off on a rim job? Do she have to go? Because you got some women that gets off on rim jobs.
I agree.
And so, if the woman gets off on a rim job,
I feel like she should get a homosexual that like those activities.
So she should get another man.
Because I feel like
even though y'all married, because now
as a man,
you can't bring nobody else in to get the job.
This is the second week on this.
All right, no, time out. Let Rondo speak on it. Rondo, so if your woman wanted you to, if your woman wanted to eat your ass, you would let her?
I'm let her do whatever the fuck she
Yeah,
want.
yeah. Why not?
No, dog, that's my listen.
Man, that's how
I'm
you
old
break.
school.
That's how you
I'm
break a
old school.
woman down,
I'm
man.
old
You gotta
school,
learn how to
bro.
break
I'm
these. You
old
can have them
school.
do shit.
That area is definitely off limits, bro. It just is for me. I'm old school. Look, like they said about Bootsy. Remember we was talking about how hard headed and how stubborn he was and how he won't change his ways. That's the only thing I won't change my ways with. I'm not changing my way. No, don't play with my booty. No, I'm cool.
Man, motherfucker won't give a motherfucker a rim job. Go on and get a rim job.
Can
You
I
know what
get
I'm
a
saying? You know what I'm saying? But again, though, when there's, and you talking about, and we've been talking about chauvinistic.
What if she wanted one? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do it.
You'll
Okay.
eat a bitch booty,
But you don't want.
but you don't want
I'm
your
already
booty
down
ate.
there anyway. I'm already down there in the deep dark hole, as LV say. I'm already down there in the deep dark hole.
That booty, another
element.
another galactia, another. Yeah, that booty, another. That booty like Jupiter.
I'm telling you,
It ain't.
I feel like if you're already there, the
Dude.
minds, like I'm telling you, seriously though, and plus,
The vagina's like Earth.
But listen, all men, real men that are ass men, is gonna want to ram from the back anyway. So, in my opinion, I have 2 holes, and I probably use both holes. You know what I'm saying? Thumb in the butt, boom, fuck, and no, fuck. That's part of doggy style.
Yeah. I mean, well,
Would you eat?
Read some of the comments.
Have you ever ate ass? And keep it a buck.
Yeah, pause. Read pause. You know, just the way you saying it. I definitely have. I definitely have. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you know, shit. It's just a part. It's just a part of the of the thing. But again, though, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ain't got no problem with that. Who said that?
Brandy.
Uh-huh.
LB nasty to motherfucker. We know
Yeah. I ain't the only one that gave out a couple of them rim jobs. Now y'all can sit on here.
I know one thing. I ain't never had one.
Brandy, that how you feel? You can tell by my lips. Is
adults.
that how you feel, Brandy?
Brandy, you don't get out here with that shit for our
Funny.
Don't let me write a letter.
That's funny.
Don't let me write a letter, Brandy.
Now I know. Now I ain't got to see it, but I know now. You know what I'm saying? But that's just going back to the original post. So the original post is that the women are saying he's selfish, but here you have women that are saying that they refuse to do certain shit openly right here. And so then when the man say he refused to do certain shit, he's selfish.
So should a woman be open to all options? I'm talking about unlimited options. Whatever a man want to do, she has to do it.
No, but don't then on the flip side say that the man is selfish because he's not open to all the options.
It's just a
Because he don't want to. Because he don't want to.
Like I'm telling you, I would eat ass before I want my ass ate. That's my point. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I would rather eat ass before. And we're not talking about man. Everybody know me.
I'm just saying pause.
Feminine.
It's the whole
I like
word.
women. I'm saying I would rather eat ass before wanting to get my ass ate.
It's just one of them pause things. Everyone has limitations, but again, once the man show limitations of not giving cuddling, then he becomes selfish and chauvinistic, and then he becomes that he shouldn't receive something that he don't want to give, and so the man becomes something that women shouldn't fuck with because he has limitations. But the women that have limitations, they still fuck wittable. Men should still fuck with them, even though they don't want to get fucked in the ass. They don't want to get their face nutted on. They don't want to do all this shit. But they still become. Men should fuck with them and understand that the woman doesn't want to do that.
Like I said, I feel like any woman with limitations, or any human being with limitations, you're shorting yourself when it comes to a lot of life. I used to have limitations, like a lot of them. Like I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that. I'm not dating them. Like, and I had all of these rules. The older I got, the more I realized I'm that motherfucking rule. Every rule I told myself I couldn't be. I said I wouldn't date a woman with children. Then I had children. I said I wouldn't date a motherfucker that slept with 10 people. Then I slept with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I became everything.
Slept with a motherfucker with 30 bodies?
No, it's beside the point. I became every rule that I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
It went out the window.
It went out the window. So I don't know. If, it definitely come with age. Like shout out to Willie ABS, still part of the smartest dumb people. He just got some stuff going on with Evil Lunchbag. You gotta take care of. But with Lil Cuzzo, I told him.
I thought he said something. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, with Willie, like, I was telling Willie, like, he hasn't experienced. Willie's still in that stage to where, like, he gonna get jealous with his girl. Like, I'm telling you, like,
How old is Willie?
27-ish.
How? What fucking
No,
age?
I'm for it. He about 27-ish. Because I used to.
How old is you?
I used to, like, tickle Willie and kick him and shit like that when he was a little kid and his mom.
Hold on.
I used to pick on Willie.
So, Unica said, not true. Everyone isn't for everybody. That's a fact. I can't agree with that. But again,
Carl, be careful with your comment because I want you to get
what Carl say.
Y'all all, I know we talking nasty, but be careful with y'all comments because it will definitely get you blocked, bro. And I don't have control over that. Facebook has a whole algorithm where they catch words and they'll block you. So just be careful. He said.
So again, no, I agree with Unica. No, everybody isn't for everybody. But again, the man stated that he don't go down on his woman and automatically he's selfish. Automatically he doesn't deserve to get what he's want. That's what they saying in the comments.
A man, listen, and this is to women. If a man chooses to not want to use his mouth for whatever, it's not that he's selfish. It's just some people have standards that they have rules and standards and limitations, and you're crazy to think that men don't have them. No, you can fuck with a dusty nigga. You can fuck with a nigga ain't got shit. A dusty nigga ain't got no home that'll eat your ass and do all that weird shit. But when you fucking with a man, the man makes
shit. R. Kelly,
you fucking with a man gonna
shit.
make
Hold
that
on,
decision.
R. Kelly. Hold on, time out. R. Kelly had dust. R. Kelly was on paper. That nigga was doing everything, and that's what he liked to do. He was shitting on motherfuckers.
Like you said, I think I'm boiling down. I think it come with age, and you can, it's different shit.
At my age, like when I was
R. Kelly was shitting and pissing on and eating on and doing everything.
Y'all get the Gorilla Glue girl comment before we get out of here because we really got like 3 minutes left, but we can go 5. Let's talk about the Gorilla Glue girl. She's supposed to like. She had a GoFundMe, and we're not gonna talk. We'll talk.
She said, "Hold on." Sis said, "We all have standards. I'm not going to please a man in a way he refuses to please me."
We're not gonna use that.
You cannot do something. You cannot. You won't please a man the way he wanted to be pleased.
Yeah.
And so it's on the flip side. So the same thing that you saying, sis, it's the same thing that the man is saying. So unless you are open to do any and everything, threesomes, foursomes, orgies, swinger parties, unless you're willing to do all of that, then you're not pleasing your man. Land and not talking about you. So I'm gonna rewind and take you out the conversation. But women just laying on their back, thinking that it's just a pussy dare, that a man should be aroused, that's off balance. You know what I'm saying? The woman to sit up and say, a man can't last 2-3 minutes. Well, you can't ride me for 3 minutes. Without talking about your legs hurt. Without talking about you tired. and then lay down flat on the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Lay down.
Listen,
and
man,
then lay down. You
should've-
can't
you know
even
what?
stand
We
up.
should've kept- we
man.
failed miserably.
You can't even get up on your
When
heels.
we used to go fight, we can't.
No, that man.
You gotta keep it PG
I mean,
when
this
you
our
do.
show. You can't even get up on your heels. You know what I'm saying? Most women can't even get up on their heels and do anything. Exert any type of exertion. They can't even do it for more than 2-3 minutes. But then they sit up and they want a man to swing them from the chandeliers and pick them up and do all of that, man. Come on, man. That's make believe, man. That's make believe.
Hey, now it's time to say goodbye.
That's
to
make
all
believe.
my Negro friends.
That's
It's 9:02. Smartest Dumb
I've been
People,
around a
2
lot.
minutes Over.
If it's a different story, then someone got to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Someone got to prove it. That's make believe.
All of our Facebook
Motherfucker
family
won't even put
here,
a panty on.
All of our Facebook family here, the Smartest Dumb
Or
People
lingerie
family,
on.
Smartest
Put a
Dumb-
panty
the
on that
Smartest Dumb
pussy or
People
something.
fans. Please, go
For
make sure
real.
you like and share. Go make sure you go
For
check
real.
out Young Victor's GoFundMe. Y'all support us, man.
Put a slip
Look,
on
LP.
on that
support us,
motherfucker, man.
Help us, help the community. This is the Smartest Dumb People. LP
Hey, man,
the Great.
love y'all, man. Love y'all, man. Love y'all.
Yeah, you done, yeah.
Nigga, I'm saying I love you.
LP
What the
the
fuck
Great.
you want me to say?
Quando Rondo, Anthony That Dude Johnson. This is the Smartest Dumb People. Y'all have a great night, safe weekend.
Peace, love.
Buddha.